Let's go to guns. So you know, and you've heard, it's been all over the place, that Matthew McConaughey yesterday was talking about gun control, all right? And we like Mr. McConaughey. We think he's a responsible guy, very well-intentioned. I'm going to play a soundbite in a moment. But the Biden administration put him up in the White House to try to reach the folks that don't really pay attention to the news because McConaughey is a movie star. All right, here's what he said. Go.
We need responsible gun ownership. Responsible gun ownership. We need background checks. We need to raise the minimum age to purchase an AR-15 rifle to 21. We need a waiting period for those rifles. We need red flag laws and consequences for those who abuse them.
Okay, you know, it's idealistic. It's not going to stop gun violence. What he's saying is not wrong. Let's run it down. So minimum age for an AR purchase, 21. I have no beef with that, and I'll explain. I got a lot of mail that's, oh, no, and I'll explain that in a moment. Waiting period for those rifles, that should be a state situation, okay? Each state has got to, you know, design its own gun protection laws because there's a difference between Wyoming and New York City, as I told you. And red flag laws, same thing. States have got to do it, not the feds. Okay, now let's get to the 18 to 21. That can be a national law, a federal law. And people go, well, 18-year-olds are in the Army or they're in the Marines. They can join up. Well, yeah, okay, but in the Army, Marines, Navy, they are under discipline and being trained in many things, including the use of firearms. But they're supervised. You can be 17 with your parents' consent, going to the armed forces. But they are supervised. Key word, capital S, supervised. 18-year-olds who walk in and buy an AR, most of them are law-abiding, of course. But there are loons and immature people who are doing it. There's no downside to raising it to 21. There's no downside. So I tell conservative people, don't be crazy. All right? The left is crazy. Don't be that. Be reasonable. Okay. And finally, and I'd love to talk to Matthew McConaughey about this because I think he would actually listen. You're never going to stop gun violence by putting in background checks and red flag laws and all that because the criminals, they buy the guns illegally. They steal the guns. They don't go through the normal channels.